Guys, what's going on? T&J Performance, South Florida. Here on another beautiful day down here in South Florida. Right before New Year's Eve. It's like 80 degrees right now, sunny. Out here working at my house. Gonna go up to the street here in a little bit when Tommy gets home, and got a bunch of parts in for the Nova to finish it. Doing a little paint correction on the, well, actually some paint repair scuff. Just trying to get some of the scratches out from the old man who owned the truck. I guess right before the old man couldn't drive anymore, he backed into the garage one more time and hit the door coming in, and you can see this whole quarter panel was scratched pretty bad. But now you can actually see a pretty good reflection of my fat ass in there. Now I did this by hand. It was scratched pretty bad. So unfortunately, it was all scratched to this wheel well, but this right here, if you see that, that's down to the primer. The paint scraped off it, so I don't know what I'm gonna do there yet. I'm probably gonna try to sand it and blend it. I mean, it's a small spot, but we'll see. But I'll come back to this in a minute. So I test drove this Limited. As you can see, I put the Ronins back on it. I took the 18s off. I didn't really like them. So I test drove it, and it runs good, it drives good, but as I was going down the road, maybe a quarter mile from here, the brakes locked up on it. And I barely got back to the house. I mean, she was struggling, you know, she was riding the brake hard. So went through it, 231,000 original miles on it. And I went and changed all the brake hoses. Changed all the brake hoses, the one in the rear going to the two solid lines and both front ones going to the calipers. I did that yesterday. I had my nephew come home, help me bleed the brakes. I flushed it out a little bit, put new fluid in it. The truck stops perfect now. What was happening was you would hit the brakes, and because the brake lines were so old and hard, the pressure, it was allowing the pressure to go through, but there wasn't enough hydraulic pressure to push back up after I released the brakes, so the calipers were staying locked, and I think the rear brakes were staying locked as well too. So I changed all three hoses, and she's running good now. So, but I wanted to show you real quick how you can, for cheap, fix some scratches. Like if you got scratches like this in your car, or scuff marks like that, what you can do is I use a little bit of a coarse towel here. Now I would usually I would bust out the machine, but I don't want to spray shit all over the place, and it's only this one spot in the truck that really needs compounded to get these scratches out. The rest of the paint will clean up real nice with just a wax, and I might also do that by hand. I don't know though. I might just take the time and tape off the door handles and everything and just go at it. But stuff like this, I use this, and then I use the polish down there that comes with it. Yeah, this stuff works pretty good. I don't have that much left because I actually did the other Limited with this, and if you saw that video, you could see how much paint was, how the paint was chalky, and I got it to come back pretty shiny. So yeah, basically, you got a scuff or scratches like that, just take a little dab on there like that, get it on there, and let the product do the work. You know, just swirl it around. Now that, you know, if your car is totally screwed and is shit, you know, it's not gonna take out deep scratches. But for the most part, you'd be surprised what it takes out. Now I didn't really even go hard at it right there, and you just get your microfiber and wipe it off, and you can see the scuff is significantly smaller, and the scratches are starting to disappear compared to there. You can see over here and down there. So basically, yeah guys, that's all you got to do. Just keep at it. I always use a microfiber towel to wipe everything off when I'm done. Normally, like I said, I would bust out the machine, but this is just such a small spot. There's no other real scratches or anything big like this on the car. So I want to see what I can get out by hand, and not fling compound and shit everywhere and have to tape off the truck. So yeah, I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to go over the whole truck with a nice good wash everything off it. I'll let it dry, or I'll dry it by hand, and then I'll probably apply the wax and wax the whole truck, including the roof, because I want to preserve it, because I don't know if the old lady is going to be driving it, or if I have it sold, or if I'm even going to sell it. I don't know. You know, these are pretty rare, and to have one this clean is not too often, not too common. As you can see, the daily, you know, she's a little bit rougher. She's dirty as hell. She got some scratches and stuff I could take care of on this, but there's a big old dent there, and then a big old dent there, and the interior is, you know, it's locked, but interior is ratty. You can see the seat's ripped, the driver's seat's worse. I mean, I know they sell the covers for like $200 on eBay. I can get new ones, but you know, she's banged up. She's got a big dent in the fender there, and all the paint's coming off the front bumper, and grill's cracked, and you know, she's a little rough, but crate motor, TCI transmission, it runs and drives great, got cold AC, so it's my daily. You can see it's got some damage over there, you know. So yeah, so I'll pull the cover up on this one. You can see it's pretty clean, you know, all the way down. I got the bungee cords on it. I don't feel like bending over to get it. So yeah, so basically, video, if you got an OBS, brakes are sticking, you got brakes dragging, you hit the brakes and she might pull to the left or pull to the right. I'm not going to say it's going to be what I replaced all, you know, every time, all the time, but I'll show you the back. She got the old school lights in it. But yeah, so like I was saying, I'm not going to say it's going to be the hoses all the time, but I would say 70% of the time, you got a brake hose that's collapsing. So for $70, O'Reilly's, change all 3 brake hoses, have somebody help you bleed the brakes or get a self bleeder, bleed the brakes, test drive it, and then go from there. I mean, this one's like got brand new brakes now. I couldn't believe how high the pedal was for an OBS. Actually, both these limiteds have great brake pedals. I think in 2000 they must have did something, because every other OBS truck I drive, the brake pedal goes to the floor before it stops, no matter how much you bleed it, no matter what you do. But these 2 trucks actually have great brake pedals. So yeah, guys, a little bit of info on brakes, a little bit of info on doing some paint correction, I guess you would call it, if you got some, like, you know, light scratches or light to medium scratches in your clear coat and it's not all the way down to the paint. You can actually use the compound on a washcloth like I do. It's a little bit coarse, like a wool pad, and don't go crazy. Let the product do the work, and you'll get decent results. You'll be surprised. And then if you take your time and do the whole car right, which I will, and I'll show you how to do on this car, you'll be amazed at the results. I mean, you can take some pretty shitty looking paint, and with a little bit of elbow grease and, you know, a day, 4 or 5 hours after taping and doing the moldings and everything, so you don't splatter shit everywhere, you'll have some great results. I showed you on the other Tahoe that I had, the paint was like white chocolate, the one I drive every day. And Tommy would constantly hound me, why don't you buff that out? Why don't you buff it out? Why don't you buff it out? So I took the time, and that's only compounded. I didn't even wax it. And it was like a night and day difference. I couldn't believe it. The truck actually looks good from 50 feet away. So yeah, guys, just a quick couple of tips today. Hope you have a good holiday. Talk to you next year.